such an honor to be here before you this morning. I am one of the freshmen that Joe Pence just talked about. My race was the biggest upset in the country. I ran as a nurse, a mother of 6, and a grandmother of now 12, because I believed in the American dream and the importance of preserving it for our kids and our grandkids. But before I ever came to Congress, I was involved in the pro-life movement. I got involved when my oldest son was 1. I went back to school, to a Jesuit school, and I decided to give a pro-life presentation instead of writing a term paper. And so I got involved in the Right to Life movement in Syracuse, New York. Now, Syracuse has the dubious distinction of having the first freestanding abortion clinic. It is, and of course in New York we legalized abortion. They legalized in 1970, so we were ahead of the curve. The culture in Syracuse and in my district is one of choice. You know, it's Planned Parenthood, it's women's health. It's a huge battle up there. So I spent many years in the Right to Life movement, and I sat where you sit. And I want to stand here before you this morning, and number one, to tell you how much I respect what you do, and your willingness to stay in this, and your willingness to stand up for what's right for the unborn. If we in this society can just demean or say that one life isn't valuable, just one, we demean the value of all life, and that is what has happened. And that is what's so dangerous about the pro-life, or about the pro-abortion movement, that it looks at the circumstances rather than the intrinsic value of that human life. So I want to first of all encourage you and commend you for your work and your efforts on behalf of the pro-life movement. That little boy now, who was 1 when I first went to my first local march, is now 35, and he has 7 children. That is a commentary on how long this has gone on. And of all of the issues that plague me about this, there really are 2. Number one, I'm a nurse. And I have been involved in the healthcare profession. I went to nursing school in 1969, just about the time abortion was legal in New York State. We went through OBGYN training, and we were told that there were 2 patients. There was no question. There were 2 patients, and that was before 4D ultrasound. That was before all of the technology that we have available to us today. There was informed consent. There was parental consent about the most basic healthcare issues. And this issue, the hypocrisy that surrounds this issue, the lie to women that it's about women's rights and their own health, it's so destructive. And I want to just use that as a segue to my next point. The pro-abortion movement does such a great job when they talk about it, and a woman comes into their office or they're talking about it, they make it very personal. They talk about that woman and her health and her body and her rights. We don't do such a good job about that because we're up here. We're talking about one nation under God. We're talking about we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. But it's harder for people to relate to that. We've got to do a better job, one-on-one, in our conversations. And I want to challenge all of you in this room to educate, to educate, to educate. We are on the right side of this issue for many reasons. But the lie to women that this is about their health, it's the most destructive thing you can ask a woman to do, is to destroy her unborn child. And if she doesn't know it then, she will know it very soon as her life proceeds on. I think the thing about the Right to Life movement and the whole abortion, the millions and millions of lives that have been lost, it's so profound to me, is that we don't know who was lost. We don't know what that one person would have done. I was at an event during the campaign, and a woman came up to me, and she had about a 22-year-old daughter standing with her. And she said to me, do you remember me? And you don't recognize the face, you don't recognize the context. She said to me, you talked to my group when I was in college, and I was pregnant at the time. And she said I didn't have the abortion, and she introduced me to her daughter. And you say to yourself, the profound destruction that occurs with abortion, the lives that are lost, we don't know the missions and the goals of all those people who are destroyed in abortion. So I encourage you to reach out to that person next to you, to that neighbor, to that family member, over and over again about the intrinsic value of a human life. That the importance of understanding that if we demean one life, we can say because that child has Down syndrome, or he was conceived in a rape, or if we can demean one life, we've demeaned all life. And that's what this fight is about. Every human being, regardless of the circumstances they were born into, deserves the right to life. So I thank you all very much. It's such an honor to be here with you. We do live, as Joe Pitt said, in the greatest nation in the history of mankind. She's worth fighting for. She is worth fighting for. And I commend you all for staying in the fight, for being alongside with us. Please keep us in your prayers. God bless all of you, and God bless the United States of America.